Hello and welcome Year 12 to your transition work. My name is Mrs Beckman and I'm one of the design and technology teachers at Lutterworth College. We are super excited to see you guys and to meet you guys in September, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this transition work. It will be a good foundation and a good start for you to get used to working at A level. So here we go. So your first project will be to design and make a light that is inspired by an existing designer or design movement. Now, you've most probably done a bit of work throughout the years on existing designers and design movements. So you may have somebody in mind that you particularly like as a designer. But we're going to look across the broad spectrum of design movements with you. It's imperative and really incredibly important that you have a broad knowledge of the different design movements and different designers. So you just need to open up your mind to all of those. The work will be used as part of a baseline assessment. Now, baseline assessment is just where we want to see where you currently sit. A very, very basic look at your ability level so that we know where to pitch the work for you. So as part of the course, you need to be aware of and be able to discuss key design styles and movements and their principles of design. So it's not just being able to label or name a chosen designer or favourite designer or even just to pick a name of a design movement. It's about being able to identify the principles of design, their styles, how their influences future products. And you need to be able to discuss this, so to be able to openly and articulately discuss the different design movements and the different designers and their influences. So here we have the key design movements, the ones that we're going to be looking at. So we have arts and crafts movement, we have Art Deco, modernism, for example, Bauhaus, we have streamlining, and we have postmodernism, for example, Memphis. So you'll see Art Deco at the top left. You will see arts and crafts is the next one along on the pictures. You'll see modernism, and then you've got Memphis, which is an example of postmodernism. And the one down at the bottom right is your streamlining example. So task 1 then, guys, is to produce initial research for 5 design movements on the previous slide. So I've just included a little image here so you don't have to keep clicking back. Okay, so you can see the list there. So an initial research page for these 5 design movements. You need to include a range of images of products for each movement with annotation highlighting key characteristics, dates and designers. So at A level, your annotation moves on. It's not restricted to labelling and short sentences. It's opened up to explanations and full descriptions, okay, using keywords. But you must highlight the key characteristics, okay. So if we were to look at, let's choose postmodernism Memphis, top right image. A key characteristic of that is very bold colours, okay, extremely bold colours and quite exciting shapes, okay. So your initial research page for the 5 design movements that you need to do, you can do that all on one page. It's entirely your choice, as long as it's clear and as long as it's detailed enough. So on this next slide, we have some expectations. So here's your initial research task expectations here, okay? So what you'll see on the left-hand side is a very basic kind of mood board. And mood board is pretty much what we're looking at right now for this initial research. It's a very basic one. There aren't any keywords on there. There's no annotation, but there's a really nice selection of images for the designer to steal, okay? It's a nice mood board. It's very nicely laid out, but it's not A level, okay? A level is what we're looking at on the right-hand side. So this is a layout of an analytical mood board. And what you'll see is there are 2 different designers on this particular one. Now, you obviously are going to have to look at 5 different design movements, okay? So there's 2 different design movements on this particular one. And you'll notice that there's a selection of images, but also detailed analytical sort of annotation on that mood board. Okay, the annotation goes into, if you look at Art Deco, for instance, one of the key characteristics of Art Deco is the geometrical shapes, and the annotation details those geometrical shapes. So use this as a guide, the one on the right hand side, that's what we're looking for. Use that as a guide. Please don't copy and paste or work at A level, and the expectation obviously at GCSE as well is that you guys create original work, and there's no copying and pasting. Please, no copying and pasting from the internet. It needs to be in your own words. You also need to be able to give your opinion, and giving your opinion is key at A level. Okay, so if you want to pause the video so that you can complete this task, task 2 follows on this same video. Off you go. So here we are then, moving on to task 2 then. From the 5 design movements that you have researched, you need to choose one that you feel most inspired by. You're to produce a much more detailed research page, and it includes the following. So we've produced a list of things, the expectations we want to see on this page. You need to apply key dates. And this could be key dates from when the design movement was first established, key dates from when the design movement made massive changes, and maybe it's styling, okay, maybe it's success, key dates of success, key dates of prominent buildings maybe that were used or used that particular design movement for any particular reason. Aims and philosophies, okay, what does that design movement stand for? You've got to really look into the detail. Designers linked to the movement, and we've put founders in brackets, so the majority of the designers you'll find linked to those design movements will be the founders of that design movement. But you can have links such as a particular designer has decided to step outside the box, choose a different design movement, and designed a product alongside that design movement with the inspiration of that design movement. Inspiration. When we're talking about inspiration, I want you to talk about how you see the design movement could influence future products, what changes it could implement, but also what inspiration it gives to you. Okay, so again, your opinion is key. Any political factors associated with the movement, look into the history. Okay. Fashion and trends during the period of that design movement. So try to link other products to it. So you could say, for instance, particular style of fashion went alongside the arts and crafts movement, beautiful dresses made in that style. Okay, please highlight as much as you possibly can about fashion and trends during the period of that design movement, because that in itself highlights the influence the design movement may have had. Technological advancements that may have influenced the movement. So the one that springs to mind here for me is streamlining, okay? So technological advancements in the ability to create different shapes out of different materials. Look into that one. Sketches. All right, so if you've got any sketches, or there are any sketches you can find for particular design movements, remember that this page also needs to have images across the board, okay? And last but not least, again, your opinion. Give me your opinion on your chosen design movement. I need to know why you like this design movement the most. I need to know what you think you can get from this design movement. What do you think this design movement will give your product? I would like your opinion in its entirety. Be as negative or as positive as you can. A mixture of the both would be absolutely fantastic. We need to be able to give both sort of feedback to ourselves, but also we need to be critical as well. So look into those. So that's task 2 then. As much detail as you possibly can, a similar layout. So if I skip back, a similar layout to the one you see on the right hand side would be fantastic. But again, you are only looking at, for task 2, your favourite, your chosen design movement. Okay, so pause the video and you can get on with that task. So lastly but not least, we have some helpful videos here. So watch these videos to help you understand the wider influence of designers, design movements and principles of design. Okay, I've literally just chosen 2. There are many that you could look into, and maybe doing a little bit of research yourselves would be absolutely fantastic. Why not use this transition work or transition tasks to help broaden your knowledge on designers and design movements? Because trust me, it will come in very useful. So make as many notes as you possibly can as you move through these tasks. If you need any help at all, Miss Callahan, her email address is at the top there, and you will see myself second there with my email address. So feel free to email any of us if you have any problems at all, guys. Super excited about meeting you. So that's task 1 and 2, and there will be a Loom video for task 3 and 4 for you. Enjoy. See you soon.